Hi guys, welcome to the Protesting Against Rob Walker podcast. Notice there is now wrong with me. I just use a text-to-speech app. There is a P-tion at the top if you're watching the video version. Today we will cover secrets from Rob Walker's life. All this was found at fandom at PC Rob Walker's profile. Jonathan Kerrigan as PC Rob Walker. Episodes 73. First episode. Money, money, money. Last episode. Laying the Ghost. PC Rob Walker was played by Jonathan Kerrigan. He appeared in 73 episodes from 2004 to 2007. Biography. Rob was almost identical in character to his predecessor Mike Bradley. Originally local to Aidensfield, he had a tough upbringing. His father was in prison for theft, but his personality did not particularly reflect this. He began an affair with Dr. Helen Trent after she separated from her husband, Matthew. Subsequently Helen's divorce was finalized, and the two married in the episode, Keeping Secrets. Helen died just weeks later, at the end of the 15th series in the episode Accidents Happen. Rob eventually went on leave to get over her death and returned to Aidensfield in the episode Cursed La Vie. PC Phil Bellamy, having gotten over Debbie leaving him for her real husband, picked him up at the station. In Series 16, Walker began a relationship with District Nurse Carol Cassidy. When Walker passed his sergeant's exams, he was offered a place on a fast-track training course in another part of the country. He was reluctant to leave Carol and asked her to accompany him. Carol refused, saying that their relationship could not work while he was still grieving for Helen. The two made a tearful farewell, and Walker rode off into the sunset at the end of Series 16. From Nicholas Ria's website. The 14th series of Heartbeat introduced a new face in the role of lead policeman. Yet in several senses, the introduction of Jonathan Kerrigan, as PC Rob Walker, is a return to source for Heartbeat. For one thing, he was greeted in the press as the heartthrob the program has been missing. As the Yorkshire Post's women's pages put it, handsome young officers have come and gone, but Aidensfield hasn't had a really sexy man in uniform since Nick Berry patrolled the moors with his motorbike and rain cape. Jonathan Kerrigan's character has something else in common with the much-missed Nick Rowan, that young police officer, PC Nick Rea in the Constable books on which the TV series was based, shared his original name with author Nicholas Rea. Now, much to the amusement of Nicholas Rea, real name, Peter N. Walker, the good-looking young copper is again a namesake of his. The character is called PC Rob Walker. Rea comments. Derek Fowles and William Simons, who play Blaken and Ventris, always refer to themselves as my children or my family, so I'm not sure where PC Rob Walker fits in. Perhaps he's a long-lost cousin or another of my expanding family, either real or fictitious. Whoever he is, I'm sure he'll keep up the good Walker family name. Unlike his three predecessors, Nick Rowan, Mike Bradley, and Steve Crane, PC Rob Walker isn't a city dweller facing the new demands of being a country cop. His return to Aidensfield is a return to source for him, too. He grew up there and, transferring from Middlesbrough, he's coming home. This doesn't mean he won't have his own unique problems to face when he takes up his new post. Rob's an interesting character and they've set him up with a storyline that will undoubtedly resonate throughout his time in Aidensfield, says Jonathan. Rob's father was a criminal who was caught by Blaken when he was a bobby on the beat. It was the case that got away as far as he was concerned because a member of Walker's family came up with an airtight alibi for him. And that member was the young Rob. When he lands back in Aidensfield he's branded with that old sins of the father thing. And rightly so in a way. We learn during the first episode that Rob did, as Oscar suspected, lie about his dad's whereabouts. It turns out he did this for a very different reason than showing the potential of following in his father's footsteps. It's a great opening and a tremendous start for the character. Jonathan became well known to television audiences after 3 successful years as Sam Cullaby in Casualty, followed by several leading roles in shows as diverse as Catherine Cookson Dinner of Herbs and Reach to the Moon. Most recently, Jonathan starred as Steve Drainer in Mersey Beat. He was delighted to get the chance to play a new police character in a totally contrasting situation. Steve was little fun to play because he was so miserable. Jonathan laughs. He was always trying to be super cop and was completely different to the real me. Already we know that Rob is far more light-hearted and more obviously human. He's not overly self-confident in what he's doing. I'm trying to make him a bit of a clumsy buffoon outside of work, so when we see him at work we know how hard he has to concentrate to get it right. When he's with Bellamy he's quite playful, but he's responsive to authority, so he plays the game with Merton. He makes sure he dots his I's and crosses his T's as far as the boss is concerned. At the same time he insists on wearing his hair longer. There's no short back and sides for him. So we see a little trickle of rebellion there too. After playing a central role in several long-running television series, Jonathan was thrilled at the chance to join Heartbeat. It was a bit intimidating, to be honest, he recalls. This is a show with a great history. 250 episodes is quite a landmark point to begin at. When I started the auditioning process I loved the character from the first few scripts and knew I wanted the part. Then when I plowed through 25 episodes back to back, I was really excited by the production values. It's got a great sheen to it and possibly the finest locations ever to be seen on telly. I've become very defensive of the show. Anyone who dismisses it as that show that's been on Sundays forever needs to take a much closer look at it. It's honest entertainment that perfectly fits the bill, which is Sunday drama that everyone can watch. It doesn't ever pretend to be anything it isn't. Now in the middle of filming his first series, Jonathan confesses he feels part of the furniture. I feel very much at home, says Jonathan. When you work with people, many of whom have been doing the show for 13 years, it would be so easy to feel like the new boy, but that never happened. The only thing I found hard to get used to was the uniform. It felt very alien at first and my girlfriend told me I looked like a Nazi strippogram, which didn't help. I soon grew into it however. Now whenever they tell me I'm going on without my knee-length jack boots, I'm lost. There's one element of the period costume Jonathan still hasn't grown to love, however, the 60s motorcycle helmet. It's not very flattering, to say the least, he confesses. It bruises the ego far worse than a tumble from the bike would damage the head, I'm sure. Jonathan Kerrigan as PC Walker, with this motorbike. Taking on the part meant that Jonathan had to learn a new skill by passing his motorcycle test. It was great, he says. Now when you see those classic long shots of Walker driving across the moors, it's me and not a stunt double. It took ages to fit the lessons in with the demands of filming. And I just got the certificate when Archie, the producer, asked me if I fancied learning to ride a horse. So we're off again. Jonathan's excited by future plans for the series and Rob Walker. There's some great plans, and I don't think I'm going to be in a hurry to leave, he says. Series 14 has some great storylines and some fantastic new characters will start popping up throughout its run. We've started thinking about what'll happen to Rob next too. I think there'll be a bit of romance on the horizon and also the chance for the character to get embroiled in the comedy as well as the action. There's also plenty of big stunt-orientated episodes on the cards which I hope to be personally involved in as much as possible. Any chance to roll about in the mud and I'm there. Relationships. Ashfordley Police Sergeants. Sergeant Denesi in Merton. Rob got on with his sergeant when he first moved to Ashfordley. When Merton left, Rob was very sad that he was leaving. Sergeant George Miller. Rob and Miller did not get on first when they met. He disagreed with Miller's autocratic style of policing. Miller also wanted to close the police house, which both Rob and the villagers disagreed with. Miller changed his mind, however, following protests. Other Ashfordley police: P.C. Alfred Alf Ventris, P.C. Philip Montgomery Bellamy. Rob and Phil became friends and eventually best mates. When Rob married Helen, he asked Phil to be best man in Series 15. Phil also chose Rob as his best man for Phil's wedding to Gina. P.C. Jeffrey Jeff Younger. Medical staff: Aidensfield doctors: Dr. Liz Merrick, Dr. Helen Walker. Helen was the woman who would eventually become Rob's wife. Their relationship started after separating from her first husband Matthew Trent. They eventually got married, but after a few weeks later Helen was killed in an explosion at the police house, leaving him devastated and also homeless, seeing as the village Bobby lived in the police house. Rob eventually went on leave in order to get over her death. Other medical staff: Jenny Merton, Nurse Carol Cassidy. Aidensfield Arms staff: Oscar Blaken, Georgina Gina Bellamy. Aidensfield Garage staff: Bernard Bernie Scripps, David Stockwell. Lovable Rogue lineage: Vernon Scripps, Peggy Armstrong. Other regular characters: Lord Ashfordley, Debbie Black. Rob Walker's real name then is Jonathan Kerrigan. Jonathan Kerrigan, born the 14th of October 1972 in Lincolnshire, is an English actor well known for various leading roles on TV, including In the Club, The Five, Casualty, Heartbeat, Merseybeat, and Reach for the Moon. Films include Diana, Flim, The Somnambulists, The Best Possible Taste. He is also a musician and has composed for both television and film. 1. Jonathan Kerrigan. Born the 14th of October 1972, age 47. Lincolnshire, England, UK. Occupation: actor. Years active: 1996 present. Spouses: Shelley, Connecticut. Children: Oscar, born 2012. Career edit: he had his screen debut in the Chemical Brothers music video, Life is Sweet. 1. In Peak Practice he played climber Ewan Harvey. From 1996 to 1999 he played a Project 2000 nurse, Sam Cullaby, in BBC medical drama Casualty. In 2001, as well as starring in Merseybeat as Police Constable Steve Traynor, Kerrigan also composed the theme tune. 2. On the 5th of September 2004, Kerrigan made his first appearance as Police Constable Rob Walker in the British highly popular and long-running primetime television drama series Heartbeat, set in the 1960s in the North Riding of Yorkshire. Rob was an extremely popular character and was always in the thick of the action, including having a relationship with Helen Trent, played by Sophie Ward, who was separated but still married at the time. They went on to get married, but Helen was tragically killed in an explosion in the police house, which left Rob devastated. In April 2007, Kerrigan announced his decision to quit his role as PC Rob Walker in Heartbeat. Scottish actor Joseph McFadden replaced him as village constable Joe Mason in the following series of the show. Kerrigan's departure marked the end of another chapter in the series' history, as the viewers of the show saw PC Rob Walker ride off on his motorcycle into the sunset at the end of Series 16. In May 2010 he appeared in episode 21 of the 7th series of the U.S. crime drama Sice, playing the character Rex Carhart. 3. In 2012 he appeared in a Richard Jobson film called The Somnambulists about British servicemen and women reflecting on the action they saw in Basra during the Iraq War. 4. He composed some of the original music for the film, including the opening title sequence. 1. Also in 2012 he plays John Alkin in BBC 4's The Best Possible Taste, a biography of Kenny Everett. 5. As well as appearing in the film Diana, which starred Naomi Watts and was directed by Oliver Hirschbiegel. 6. The film was released in 2013. In 2014, he played Neil in The Club, returning for Series 2, in 2016. He also appeared in and wrote original music for an ongoing film project called Film by Raffaello di Griola. 2015 was a busy year for Kerrigan. He filmed a 10-part drama for Sky One called The Five, written by Harlan Coben, playing American businessman Stuart Carew. He also filmed Series 2 of In the Club, both of which are to be screened in 2016. Kerrigan is married to actress Shelley Connecticut, and had a son named Oscar with her in 2012. 7. References Edit. Archived copy. Archived from the original on the 8th of January 2015. Retrieved the 16th of September 2012. BBC drama Faces, Jonathan Kerrigan, retrieved the 24th of September 2008. www.imdb.com weblink. www.imdb.com weblink. www.imdb.com weblink. www.imdb.com weblink. www.express.co.uk weblink. External links edit. Jonathan Kerrigan on IMDb. web.archive.org weblink. Last edited 5 months ago by Bender the Bot. Related articles. Merseybeat, TV series. Television series. Shelley Connecticut. English actress. Sally Carman. British actress. Wikipedia. Content is available under CC by SA 3.0 unless otherwise noted. Dr. Helen Walker. CHARACTER. Dr. Helen Walker. Dr. Helen Walker in Keeping Secrets.jpg. Sophie Ward as Dr. Helen Walker. Episodes. 40. First episode. Who's Sorry Now? Last episode. Accidents Happen. Dr. Helen Walker, formerly Dr. Helen Trent, deceased, was played by Sophie Ward. She appeared in 40 episodes from 2004 to 2006. Biography. Another in a long line of caring medical characters. Classy Helen was noted for her flowing golden tresses and her soft, posh voice. Helen moved to the area with her oily husband Matthew Trent, but they soon separated and she embarked upon an affair with PC Rob Walker while awaiting a divorce, but still in fact married. Subsequently Helen's divorce was finalized and the two were married in the episode Keeping Secrets. She was killed in an explosion at the Aidensfield police house at the end of the 15th series, the 2nd of July 2006. The explosion resulted from a homemade bomb planted by a disturbed schoolboy as revenge for the death of his dog during a police chase accident. Dr. Trent arrived in the episode Who's Sorry Now? To replace Dr. Liz Merrick, and she immediately clashed with Jenny Merton, the pharmacist. Jenny didn't like all the changes that were happening. In Sickness and in Health, Helen attended Liz Merrick and Ben Norton's wedding, which was overshadowed by Jenny's mental illness. She also commented on Rob's speech, saying that it was very witty. Helen was still married to Matthew at that point. In Hostage to Fortune, Helen was kidnapped and forced to treat Rob as girlfriend, who was shot. In Blast from the Past, Helen chucked Matthew out of their house. In The End of the Road, Helen was worried about Mr. Andrews' heart, and ended up being kidnapped. In Family Ties, Helen was accused of euthanasia after Betty Hackett died suddenly. In Kith and Kin, Helen's father turned up unexpectedly and said he just wanted to see her because he was dying. Helen's father left her and her mother when she was 10. Helen finally married Rob in the episode Keeping Secrets. In The Dying of the Light, Helen and Rob returned from their honeymoon after their wedding. In Rustlers and Hustlers, things were awkward between Helen and Rob after they had a night of passion. In Shadows from the Past, Helen and Rob tried to protect a suspect and his mother when the Ashfordley team re-investigated the murder of a young girl. In Binman, a journalist had been sent to Aidensfield to dig dirt on Helen ahead of her divorce from Matthew. In A Fresh Start, Rob and Helen embarked upon a full-blown affair, and in Wine and Roses, Rob and Helen attempted to patch things up after their breakup. In Keeping Secrets, Helen's mother didn't approve of the idea of her marrying Rob. In Accidents Happen, Helen moved into the police house, but ended up dying when the place was blown up by a young boy. Relationships. Aidensfield Village Bobbies. PC Rob Walker. Helen first met PC Rob Walker after she moved to Aidensfield with Matthew, her first husband. She moved into the surgery after Matthew's mistress turned up out of the blue in blast from the past and chucked him out of the house. She then began an affair with Rob while she was waiting for a divorce from Matthew. In Oh Guilty Man, Matthew made a complaint to Sergeant George Miller about Rob, who should have been on duty at the time. Rob was indeed in fact staying overnight at Helen's. Rob and Helen eventually got married, but sadly their marriage ended in tragedy when Helen died a few weeks later in an explosion at the Aidensfield police house. Rob eventually went on leave to get over Helen's death, and by the 16th series, it was clear that he was still grieving for her, and nurse Carol Cassidy said their relationship couldn't work while he was still doing so. Other Ashfordley police. PC Alfred Alf Ventris. PC Philip Phil Montgomery Bellamy. PC Jeffrey Jeff Younger. Ashfordley Police Sergeants. Sergeant Dennisine Merton. Sergeant George Miller. Medical Staff. Aidensfield Doctors. Dr. Liz Merrick. Other Medical Staff. Jenny Merton. Aidensfield Arms Staff. Georgina Gina Ward. Oscar Blaken. Lovable Rogue Lineage. Vernon Scripps. Peggy Armstrong. Aidensfield Garage Staff. Bernard Bernie Scripps. David Stockwell. Rosemary Rosie Cartwright. Gallery. Sophie Ward as Dr. Helen Trent in the 2006 opening titles.jpg. Dr. Helen Trent in her wedding dress in Keeping Secrets.jpg. PC Rob Walker and Dr. Helen Trent.jpg. Helen Trent.jpg. Matthew and Helen.jpg. Helen Trent in Season 16.jpg. Max Helen Rob.jpg. Dr. Helen Trent.jpg. Sophie Ward as Dr. Helen Trent in the 2004 opening titles.png. Height 0011. JPG. Height 0351. JPG. Height 0301. JPG. Height 0291. JPG. Height 0281. JPG. Height 0261. JPG. Height 0271. JPG. Height 0221. JPG. Height 0251. JPG. Height 0191. JPG. Height 0201. JPG. View more. Article information. Top contributors. M52967. Owani. PNR. Steel 7. Comments, 11. Categories. Community content is available under CC by SA unless otherwise noted. Sophie Ward. SophieWard.jpg. Born. Sophie Anna Ward. The 30th of December 1964, age 55. Hammersmith, London, England. Occupation. Actress. Years active. 1974 present. Spouses. Paul Hobson. M. 1988, Division 1996. Rena Brannan, M. 2014. Children. 2. Sophie Anna Ward, born the 30th of December 1964, is an English actress. Early in her career she played Elizabeth Hardy, the love interest of Sherlock Holmes in the film Young Sherlock Holmes. Even earlier, in 1983, at the age of 19, she had a brief, non-speaking role at the very end of the Tony Scott vampire movie, The Hunger. In the credits, her character is listed as Girl in London House. Career edit. Learn more. This section of a biography of a living person does not include any references or sources. Born in Hammersmith, Ward is the eldest of the 3 daughters of Alexandra, née Malcolm, and actor Simon Ward. 1. Ward started work as an actress when she was aged 10, 2, and has worked in film, television and theatre. She trained as a dancer under ballerina Merle Park. One of Ward's early film roles was in the film Young Sherlock Holmes directed by Barry Levinson. Other early films included Full Circle, Return to Oz playing beautiful Princess Mumby II, Little Dorrit and A Summer Story, and she also portrayed a dancer in Roxy Music's music video Avalon. She has appeared in several Glasgow Citizens Theatre productions including Private Lives, as Amanda, Don Carlos, as Queen Elizabeth, and most strikingly in Hamlet as Ophelia. Her most recent films are Out of Bounds, 2003, in which she co-stars with Sophia Myles and Celia Imrie, and Book of Blood, 2008, co-starring Jonas Armstrong and Reg Fuller. She also recently appeared in Cary Fukunaga's Jane Eyre, 2011. She has worked with Susan Sarandon in The Hunger directed by Tony Scott. Liv Ullmann in A Time of Indifference, It, directed by Mauro Bolognini and Elizabeth Taylor in Young Toscanini directed by Franco Zeffirelli. Her television work includes the miniseries A Dark Adapted Eye with Helena Bonham Carter and the fantasy, Dinotopia. More recently, Sophie had the recurring role of Helen Trent in long-running ITV drama Heartbeat. In 2008, Ward joined the cast of Holby City in a recurring role as Sophia Byrne. For the past 4 years, Ward has hosted the European Diversity Awards. Personal life edit. Ward has a degree in literature and philosophy from the Open University. She married veterinary surgeon Paul Hobson in 1988, and the couple have 2 sons, Nathaniel, born 1989, and Joshua, born 1993. They divorced in 1996 after Ward became involved with Korean-American writer Rena Brannan, and came out as a lesbian. 3. Ward and Brannan had a civil partnership ceremony in 2005, followed by marriage after it was legalized in 2014. 4-5. Ward had long been considered a face of the 1980s as a Vogue model. 6. Ward's sister, Kitty, is married to stand-up comedian Michael McIntyre. 7. Filmography edit. Film edit. Full Circle, 1977. Return to Oz, 1985. Young Sherlock Holmes, 1985. A Summer Story, 1986. Aria, 1987. Little Dorrit, 1988. Young Toscanini, 1988. A Demon in My View, Fr. 1989. Una Vita Silarata, film on Benvenuto Cellini, 1989. Seduction of a Priest, 1990. Wuthering Heights, 1992. Waxwork 2, Lost in Time, 1992. Crime and Punishment, 1993. The Big Fall, 1997. Belladonna, 1998. Crime and Punishment, 2002. Out of Bounds, 2003. Book of Blood, 2008. Jane Eyre, 2011. The Moonstone, 2016. Television edit. Shadows, The Other Window, Jan, Thames Television and Short Plays, 1975. Too Old to Fight, 1981. A Time of Indifference, It-1987. Casanova, 1987. Miss Marple, TV series, A Caribbean Mystery, 1989. The Shell Seekers, 1989. The Strauss Dynasty, 1990. Class of 61 to 1991. Events at Drymagleen, 1991. A Dark Adapted Eye, 1992. Taking Liberty, 1993. Chiller, TV series, Prophecy, 1994. Majiva, Lost Treasure of Atlantis, 1994. A Village Affair, 1995. Legacy, 1999. Crusade, 1999. The Inspector Linley Mysteries, 2001. Dinotopia, 2002. Heartbeat, 2004. Holby City, 2008. Land Girls, 2009 Series 1. Lewis, 2010. Land Girls, 2010 Series 2. New Tricks 2010, Series 7. Hustle, 2012. Winner Best Actor, Female. Guest Appearances Edit. Waxwork 2, 1992. The Nanny, The Wedding Episode, The Fran in the Mirror, The Hanako Episode, 1999. Crusade, The Path of Sorrows, 1999. Rona, The Fridge, 2000. Peak Practice, Blind Spot, 2001. Short Films Edit. Avalon, 1982, music video for Oxy Music. A Shocking Accident, 1982. Rockabye Baby, 1983. A Prayer for the Dying, 1984. The Malady, 1985. Chinese Whispers, 1998. Bubblegum, 2004. Missing Link, 2009. David Rose, 2011. Oscar Best Short Film. Child Performances Edit. The Chester Mysteries, 1974. Shadows, The Other Window, 1975. Full Circle, The Haunting of Julia U.S., 1975. The Copter Kids, 1976. Ibsen, The Wild Duck, 1977. The Brunsham People, 1977. Too Old to Fight, 1980. The Lords of Discipline, 1983. The Hunger, 1983. References Edit. Index Entry. FreeBMD. ONS. Retrieved 13 January 2018. Actress Sophie Ward on Go Back for Murder at Oxford Playhouse. Oxford Times. Retrieved 9 December 2014. Sophie Ward, Our Kids Have Two Mums. The Guardian. 5 June 2017. BBC News. UK-gay marriage, in the pink. BBC. Sophie Ward, How I Raised My Children with My Wife. Pogorzelski, Janina. 1 September 2009, Sophie Ward on Mind-Expanding Sci-Fi, Adventure Travel and Why It's Fabulous Being in Your 40s, PDF, Milady, p. 82, retrieved 1 April 2012. Permanent dead link. McIntyre speaks of his devastation at the death of his dad, mirror.co.uk, accessed 9 March 2015. External links Edit. Sophie Ward's Theatre blog. Sophie Ward on IMDb. Sophie Ward on Twitter. Last edited on the 28th of April 2020, at 2:47. Related articles. Thanks for watching. Back tomorrow for part 2 or 3 if you include the trailer.